Hi everyone. It's been a long time. It seems like forever since I've actually recorded a video or actually talked about something with some substance. So I wanted to share something, and this is just kind of a last minute thing. Of course, I always keep my tripod in the car with me or my crochet bag, so just in case inspiration strikes and I want to share something with you. But it's a beautiful day and I came out to the park. I just wanted to get some fresh air, get my feet in the dirt and in the grass. Actually, this table's on a cement slab, but it's covered in moss and pine cones or fir cones and fir needles. So my feet, I'm getting grounded, so that's good. It's not grass, but it's okay. It still works. I always keep everything with me. And my crochet bag, I take that wherever I go, unless I know I'm just gonna go get groceries and come right home. But once in a while, I like stop someplace and stop at a park, and some thoughts will come, upon me, and I have to write them down. But I'm thinking, okay, I can just speak about those thoughts instead of just write them down, because I'm gonna be talking about them or writing about them later. So why not do it as the moment happened? And that's all part of just being in the moment, right? It's just sharing things that come up randomly, and just like taking a few moments to talk about them. And I think too that the reason why I like doing videos so much is because you can feel the energy. At least I hope you would. And sometimes I do a little bit of meditation or a little bit of Reiki beforehand. So there's always that. I try to convey some healing energy along with what I'm speaking about, so that there's kind of like a dual purpose here. You're getting some healing if you want it, and you're getting some really cool words too. At least I would hope. Or maybe they're hot words, I don't know. And I know, like always, whatever I talk about or whatever I share, just take what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate, then just let it go, and someone else will grab onto it, and that'll be their little pearl, their little treasure. In fact, speaking of that, the other night when I was live, I had gotten my first time doing the Facebook room, and so when everybody left, and I was there's one person left, my dear friend Dulani Moore, and we were chatting a little bit, and he said something that was really profound that I had never heard before. And what he said was, so speaking of treasure, so any little pearls of wisdom or jewels of wisdom, you get whatever comes through me. That brought up a point that he had said that buried treasure is never found in a pristine box. And so that made me think, okay, so we are all a treasure. We may think that we are messy. Of course, sometimes it is messy, but this is all a game, right? Life is just all a game. But we are all a treasure, and sometimes our treasure boxes are a little dirtier than others, and that's okay. Because I think the dirtier and the messier the box, the treasure box, the bigger the treasure inside, right? Not that anyone else is more or less important, because that's not true. We're all here. We're all the same. We're all equal, no matter what, whether we've done some really crappy things or not. We're all okay. Everything's fine. Everything's the way it's supposed to be. But it kind of made me feel like, especially from my journey, and I laugh because so much has gone on in my life, especially when doing the inner work and the inner things going on. But I was thinking about the very, very non-pristine treasure box that has to do with my life, and I got to thinking, there is one amazing treasure inside this box. And I think we should all feel like that. We should all feel like the treasure inside of the dirty box, the box that is not pristine. Because I think that part of it too is the more pristine the box is, the less experiences you have, or perhaps maybe the less growth you've needed to do, that's fine too. That's perfectly fine. There's no wrong, there's no right, there's no bad, there's no good. It just is what it is, right? And so it made me feel really good, because I thought, oh wow, I feel like a real treasure. I mean, I really do. because my box is not pristine. And I'm glad it's not. I'm glad it's got, I mean, so when I think about that in like a metaphorical way, it's like my box is crusted with guilt and shame and doubt and fear and anxiety and pain, physical and emotional pain, and anger and you know, and I don't want to look at that box as a clean box. I treasure every speck of not dirt, but every speck of stuff that's on this box. I like it, I appreciate it, because and I don't want to say that that's my identity, because I can talk about identity later, but I just think it makes things more exciting and more deep. There's more depth, you know. The more dirt there is, I'm not saying bad dirt. I mean, just the more stuff there is on your box, the more interest there is. The more you have to share. And that brings up another point, is that we are all on our own journeys. Every single one of us. We are on a journey. And for a lot of us, that journey is to remember who we are. And oftentimes, in order to remember who we are, we get to choose, whether consciously or unconsciously, we get to choose experiences that will help us to remember, help us to find that part of ourselves that got hidden away, or they got put away, they got put in a box, right? And we get to unlock that. We get to stroll through this life, and we get to experience all these different things, and all these and experience people and situations, and some are painful and some are not. But every single one of those helps us to remember who we are. And especially when speaking about painful issues, and I will talk a little bit about this, and identity as well. This is something I was thinking about when I was driving over here, is that and I'll do a little bit of backstory. So I've been, since I had shingles about 7 years ago, I have not had a day without pain. I have not experienced one day without pain, whether it be neck pain, back pain, you know, structural pain in my body, or emotional pain. A lot of the pain that was physical, and that also has created some anxiety and anguish and fear, and fear of falling, and anger, a lot of anger, because damn it, I don't want to hurt every day. I don't want to hurt when I walk, right? I would get upset if I would go to town and I couldn't find a parking spot near where I wanted to be, because walking meant hurting. And then that would lead to limping. And then, okay, what if I fall? What if I trip? What if my hip gives out? What if I fall in the cement and really hurt myself and bleed? And then what if I break a tooth and I don't have money to buy new teeth? I mean, all this stuff. But so now, I've been on this healing journey. I've been going to the chiropractor 3 days a week, and that hurts. I hurt when I leave. It hurts when I'm there. I have felt some time when I have not felt pain when I don't move. And there have been a few times when in fact, on Saturday, I was walking a little bit, and there were a couple instances where I felt no pain when I took a step. And I'm like, okay, this is huge. This is really huge. But I found also that being in pain for so long, that I chose to make that my identity. And I didn't need to do that. But it's hard, because when you're in so much pain that all you can do is think about, okay, one more step. I just have to do one more step. I just have to take one more breath. Just one more breath. One more breath. Just breathe, And it became who I was. And everything that I did throughout the day was based on, all of my decisions or what I would do had to do with, okay, How much is this going to hurt me? Is there a chance of me falling down? Am I gonna, and then, okay, I'm gonna feel left out. I'm gonna feel frustrated and left out because I can't do these particular things because I can't move in some ways. I mean, like right now, from one of my coworkers, he surfs. And he was telling me how to do it, and even on the paddle boards. And I'm like, well, I can't even do that because I can hardly get up off the floor because of my hip and my back. I have to be hanging onto something because my hip is so weak and there is so much pain there. And so then that became my identity. So everything that I did, all the choices that I made, all went back to how much is this going to hurt, and am I going to be okay, and am I going to be able to stay upright? And after 5 minutes, am I going to be limping? And okay, so let's say I'm going to go for a walk, but how far can I go? Because I still have to go back that distance to get to the car wherever I started from. And how hard is that going to be on the return trip? That return trip, how agonizing is that going to be? And if I figured it was going to be too much, then I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And that became my identity. And I would be so angry and frustrated and left out. And it was like, I would like self-ostracize, if that's even, a thing. I wouldn't do things. I wouldn't even, there are times when I wouldn't even go to be with people because I was in so much pain, and I didn't want my speech and my actions and my language to be all about the pain. So I just isolate, right? But that isolation, also served a purpose, because I didn't have to. I chose to take that time to go into myself and remember who I am. Remember that this pain is not who I am. This journey, this healing journey that I'm going on, is not who I am. I'm just get to experience it. I am not this body. I am inhabiting it, but I am not the body, right? And I know that I've heard people say, what did I do to deserve this? And, why I didn't choose this. Well, actually we do. We really do. And before we come here, we choose the experiences we're going to have. And when we come from a point of understanding that, okay, I chose this and I get to do something with this, or I can choose not to, or I can choose to suffer. I can choose to suffer with my thoughts and my fears, and I can choose to let whatever this is that's bothering me, that's painful, whatever kind of situation it is, I can choose to stay in that place, or I can choose to see this as an opportunity for growth, and remembering who I am, and going within and finding that part of me that does not identify with that. And that is so liberating. And yeah, sometimes it's hard. Okay, 'cause it is hard. But I wasn't gonna do this. But we always are strong enough to deal with the stuff that comes to us, the stuff that we experience. Because if we weren't strong enough to handle it, we would not have we would not have chosen it. We choose these things, these opportunities, these experiences, these painful situations. We allow these before we come here, knowing that this is all a game. It's not forever. And we're gonna play this game so that we can see how well we can know our true selves, right? And that's what I have found. It's being laid off for 4 months, and then also having to deal with all this pain, for the 7 years of pain, when it got to the point where it's like, this is not living. This is barely surviving. And even the health issues that I've had, it's like that also determined what kind of work I could do to support myself, because there are a lot of things I couldn't do. I knew years ago, after I recovered from the shingles, well, where I could get, be off my stomach from, not have to be on my stomach for an entire day. But, and I just lost my, I just lost my train of thought. Which is why this is so great, because being in the flow, that's what's great about being in the flow. It's like I forgot what I was gonna say, so that means I get to go on to something else more exciting to talk about. And I'm still not I'm not crying now. It's just this is one of those days where it's like I had all the windows open and I had a cross breeze going through the room, my bedroom, and the front area, and I think some dust blew in and got my eyes. So I'm not crying now. So we're good. I'm gonna move this a little bit and see if I can get a little bit out of the sun's moving, so there's a little bit, it's brighter here, but now I have a halo. So if we remember that we chose this journey, and that we chose to jump into this game and play it with vigor and play it with passion, and if we can remember that we can get through whatever is coming at us, no matter how painful it is, how hard it is, and no matter how agonizing it is, no matter how much grief we are experiencing, every single bit of it is something that it's helping us. We may not think of it as helping at that time, We might be thinking, that this is a bunch of horse shit. Why do I have to do this? Or we can step back. We can feel, because that's one of the parts of living. It's one of the parts of being here. That's okay. I'm gonna change topic really fast. I'm just gonna switch gears, because when we can choose any moment. We can choose any moment what we're going to feel and what we're going to not identify with, right? And that's part of being in the flow. That's like what I'm doing right here, because there are a couple of things I wanted to say and then I forgot them because other things came in, because I've got all these ideas coming through me so quickly, right? And it's all good. This is all perfect. You might think, oh man, she's messing up. That's messed up. She doesn't even know what she's talking about. Oh, I know. It's just coming through the way it's supposed to, right? I don't care. So I stutter a little bit and I lose my thought. Maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll just lose my thoughts for a minute while I'm here with you. I'll just not think for a minute. I'll just be, because that's what we get to do. We get to choose to just be, right? And it feels good just to stop and be quiet sometimes. And then thoughts are going to pop up, and we get to say, okay, thank you for showing up. I see you, I acknowledge you, I love you. Sometimes they go away, sometimes they don't. Sometimes we can just set them off in the jar and say, okay, if I really need you, I'll come back to you later. And most of the time we don't even open that jar because we don't need it. And that can be true for anything. But back to the flow. That's why I like doing these, is because I get to practice being in the flow and being in the moment and accepting whatever comes through, whatever's coming to me, whatever wants to be said through me. And it's always perfect. So I know this is getting long, so I'm going to stop because it's going to take a while for this to upload. But stay in the flow. We've all chosen to be here. If you did not choose to be here, if you were not supposed to be here, you would not be here. We came here to play this game. Play it well. Play it dirty. Play it messy. Play it. Well, I'm not saying, hurt someone else. Don't do anything that's going to hurt someone else or hurt yourself. But play this game and play it with joy and play it with love and put the fear aside. Put the fear aside. If you're hurting, whether it's emotionally or physically, breathe through it. Breathe through it. Breathe through it. You're okay. You may not feel okay, but you're okay. All right? I can tell you from 7 years of this so far, As hard as it is, some days, we're still okay. We get to stop, we get to breathe. And that's in fact, one last thing. That's one thing that I've noticed about being in pain for so many years. And some days where it's like it's hard to move, it's hard to breathe. And some days I just want to say, screw it. I'm done. I'm not talking about suicide. I'm just talking about just like, I'm just done with this day, or I'm done with this week, I'm done with this month, or whatever. But all we have is the moment, right? All we have is right now. All we have is right now. And so if that means right now, your only job is to breathe to get to the next moment, you're doing it right. If being in the right now means that you're having to experience or process grief or anger or frustration or anxiety or all this other things that you might be dealing with, that's okay. Do it in this moment. Feel it. Accept it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. No matter what it is. Love it. Love the pain. Love the damn pain. As hard as it might be. Just love it. Just like, and you're right where you're supposed to be. Right? Oh my God, I could keep on talking, but I'm not going to, because I'll do another one. I'll do another video soon. But I just wanted to share those thoughts with you since they were on my mind and I hadn't done a video in a while, and you all needed to see my face, right? Oh, all right. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you. I'll do some more videos this week, and we'll talk some more about some things. But have a wonderful day. I'll talk with you soon.